You've seen this name, maybe on an old light bulb in your grandfather's garage, maybe on a television that stood in the corner of a living room in the 80s, maybe on a pack of batteries in a supermarket. Sylvania. Just a name, just a brand. But behind that name is a story that spans more than 100 years, 2 world wars, several corporate disasters, one of the loudest antitrust stories in American business, and a secret that most people still don't know about. A secret about why light bulbs burn out exactly when they do, and what role Sylvania played in that. But more on that later. Let's start from the beginning. A small town in Pennsylvania, 1901. If you've ever wondered where the name Sylvania came from, here's the answer. It's Latin. Silva means forest. Sylvania means wooded land. That's exactly how the first European settlers described Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, Penn's woods, a land of forests. Sylvania sounded like something rooted, natural, American. The company was founded as High-Grade Incandescent Lamp Company. Incandescent lamps, that was the main product. Edison invented the commercial light bulb in 1879, and by the early 20th century, electric lighting was slowly but inevitably entering American homes. Demand was huge, the market was young, the opportunities were almost limitless. High-Grade made lamps, made them well enough to survive and grow in fierce competition, where small manufacturers faced real giants, General Electric, Westinghouse, companies with resources, patents, and connections that a small Pennsylvania factory could only dream of. But High-Grade had something the giants didn't: hunger, the desire to grow at any cost, and the understanding that survival alone was impossible. 1924. A merger happens that changes everything. High-Grade joins with several other small lamp manufacturers, and from that union, Sylvania Products is born. A new name, a new scale, new ambitions. This is a standard story of growth through consolidation. There were thousands like it in American business of the 1920s. But this one has a twist. At the same time, in the mid-1920s, somewhere in Europe, a meeting takes place that never made the newspapers. A meeting of executives from the world's largest electric lamp manufacturers. General Electric from the US, Philips from the Netherlands, Osram from Germany, and several others. They gathered to solve one problem, a problem that, in their view, threatened the entire business. Light bulbs lasted too long. Wait, read that again. Light bulbs lasted too long. At the beginning of the 20th century, an incandescent bulb could last thousands of hours, some much longer. The famous Centennial bulb in a fire station in Livermore, California, has been burning since 1901. Still, more than 120 years of continuous operation. If bulbs don't burn out, people don't buy new ones. If people don't buy new ones, the business doesn't grow. The logic is simple and brutal. And so, in 1924, the same year Sylvania is born, a world's largest lamp manufacturers create a secret cartel. It was called the Phoebus Cartel, named after the Greek god of the sun, Phoebus. The Phoebus Cartel set a standard. A light bulb must last no more than 1,000 hours. Manufacturers whose bulbs lasted longer were fined. Manufacturers whose bulbs lasted less were also fined, because that would be too obvious. Exactly 1,000 hours, no more, no less. Was Sylvania part of this cartel? Officially, no. Sylvania was too small to sit at that table in 1924, but it operated in a market controlled by that cartel. It produced lamps according to the standards that cartel set, and it grew within a system that cartel created. It's an uncomfortable truth, but it's the truth. 1930s, the Great Depression sweeps over America. For many companies, it's the end. For Sylvania, an expected opportunity. When the economy collapses and money disappears, those who can produce necessities cheaply and reliably survive. Light bulbs are not a luxury, they're a necessity. Even in the darkest years of the Depression, people paid for electric light. Sylvania holds on. More than that, it uses the crisis to absorb competitors who couldn't survive. The company expands, opens new factories, increases production. But the real turning point doesn't happen in lamps. It happens in tubes. Vacuum tubes, radio tubes, are the heart of 1930s electronics. Every radio receiver, every amplifier, every communication device runs on vacuum tubes. And Sylvania, with its experience in producing glass envelopes for lamps, realizes it's the same technology, just more complex. The company enters the vacuum tube business and does so aggressively. By the end of the 1930s, Sylvania is one of the largest vacuum tube manufacturers in America. This decision will save the company twice. First, in the 1930s, the second time when the war begins. 1941, Pearl Harbor. America enters World War II. And here, Sylvania does what all smart American companies do in wartime, turns toward military contracts with all its production power. Vacuum tubes are needed everywhere, in radar, in communication systems, in navigation equipment, in bomb sites. The military needs millions of tubes, reliable, precise, capable of working in field conditions, in aircraft, on ships. Sylvania produces them by the millions. But there's something else, something the company didn't talk about publicly for many years. During the war years, Sylvania takes part in developing technologies that will later become the foundation of the post-war electronic revolution. Technologies that will change not only the company itself, but the entire world. More on that later, because first we need to understand what was happening with light bulbs. After the war, America experiences an unprecedented economic boom. Soldiers return home, get married, buy houses in the suburbs, have children. Suburbs grow like mushrooms. Every new house needs lighting. Every new family needs light bulbs. Sylvania is in the perfect position. But the company looks beyond light bulbs. It looks at a new technology that is slowly entering American homes and will soon change everything: television. The first commercial televisions appear in the late 1940s. They're huge, expensive, and imperfect, but Americans want them with the same passion with which people today want new smartphones. And every television requires a special cathode ray tube, a picture tube. Sylvania, with its experience in manufacturing vacuum tubes and glass bulbs, enters this market earlier than most competitors. Sylvania Halo Light, a television released in 1948, becomes one of the first truly mass-market TVs in America. Its distinguishing feature is the backlight around the screen, which, according to the company, reduces eye strain. A marketing gimmick? Perhaps. But Halo Light sells well, very well. Sylvania becomes one of the country's leading television manufacturers. The 50s, the Cold War, the space race, and a technology that changes everything. In 1947, Bell Labs invent the transistor. This marks the end of the vacuum tube era, although few realize it immediately. The transistor is smaller, more reliable, and consumes less power. It makes possible what was previously impossible. Sylvania sees this and reacts quickly. The company invests in transistor technology, opens research laboratories, and hires the best engineers. And here we return to the military secret I mentioned earlier. During the war years, Sylvania engineers worked on radar technology and electronic guidance systems. This was the cutting edge of science at the time, work that required a deep understanding of semiconductor physics. When Bell Labs published their transistor research, Sylvania engineers were among the few who immediately understood the significance of the discovery, because they were already working in that direction, secretly, under military contracts. Sylvania Electric Products, that is now the company's name, becomes one of the first licensees of Bell Labs transistor technology and one of the first manufacturers of commercial transistors in America. This is not just another product, it is a bet on the future. And while competitors are still selling vacuum tubes, Sylvania is already building the next chapter. The 60s, the space race reaches its peak. NASA needs electronics, reliable, compact, capable of operating in conditions that do not exist on Earth. Sylvania delivers. At the same time, the company continues to dominate the consumer market. Light bulbs, televisions, batteries, all of this is sold in millions of American homes. The name Sylvania becomes synonymous with reliable, affordable electronics. But at this very moment, at the peak of its success, a story begins that will ultimately change the company's fate forever. A story about how corporate greed meets the federal government and loses. 1964. The U.S. Department of Justice files an antitrust lawsuit against the country's largest electric lamp manufacturers. Among the defendants are General Electric, Westinghouse, and Sylvania. The charge? Conspiracy to fix prices and divide the market. This is not the first such lawsuit. In the history of American antitrust investigations, companies in the lamp industry had appeared regularly, going back to the 20s to the Phoebus cartel. But this case is different because this time the government has evidence, documents, correspondence, witnesses. The story of how the three lamp manufacturers secretly agreed on prices, divided territories, and coordinated strategies unfolds in federal court before the eyes of the entire country. Sylvania ultimately agrees to a settlement, pays fines, changes its practices. Officially, the story is closed, but unofficially, reputational damage is done. And this is only the beginning of the problems. The 70s bring Sylvania a new challenge and a new opportunity that the company embraces with unexpected boldness. The energy crisis of 1973, the oil embargo, gas rationing. Americans, for the first time in their lives, seriously begin to think about energy efficiency. And Sylvania, a company selling light bulbs, finds itself at the center of this conversation. The company begins actively developing and promoting energy-efficient light sources, fluorescent lamps for commercial use, halogen lamps for automotive. And here, Sylvania does something important. Sylvania Silver Star, an automotive halogen bulb that becomes a standard for the American car market. Brighter than ordinary halogens, with a characteristic white light that drivers describe as closer to daylight. Silver Star becomes one of the best-selling automotive bulbs in the history of the American market. It is a product that is still sold today. Right now, in 2026, Sylvania Silver Star is on the shelves of auto stores across America. But who manufactures these bulbs today? That is a question most people don't know the answer to. And the answer is unexpected. 1981. GTE Corporation, one of the largest telecommunications conglomerates in America, acquires Sylvania. This is not a hostile takeover. It is a deal both sides consider beneficial. GTE gets manufacturing capacity and a brand with a long-standing reputation. Sylvania gets the resources of a conglomerate. But for a company with an independent character, and Sylvania had exactly that for decades, this marks the beginning of the end of its independence. Under GTE, Sylvania continues to operate, and even quite successfully. The 80s are a period when the company actively develops its automotive segment. Automotive bulbs, halogens, fog lights, headlamp bulbs become the foundation on which Sylvania will stand in the decades to come. At the same time, the company experiments with new lighting formats. Compact fluorescent lamps, the predecessors of modern energy-saving bulbs, appear in Sylvania's lineup in the mid-80s. The company is one of the first in the American market to offer them to the mass consumer. But the story continues to take turns, and the next turn is one of the most unexpected. 1993. GTE sells Sylvania's lighting business to the German concern Osram. Osram. This name should sound familiar if you remember the beginning of this story. Osram was one of the founders of the Phoebus cartel in 1924. the very same secret organization that established the 1,000-hour standard for light bulbs. Now Osram owns Sylvania. History has come full circle with a gap of nearly 70 years. Under the management of Osram, the Sylvania brand continues to exist in the American market as a separate trademark under which the full range of lighting products is sold. Osram understands the value of an American name with a century-long history and does not destroy it. It uses it. This is a smart decision. The American consumer knows Sylvania, trusts it, sees its light bulbs in stores from childhood. Why destroy that trust when you can use it? The 2000s. The world is changing faster than ever. Light-emitting diodes, LEDs, a technology that had been known since the 1960s as a laboratory phenomenon, finally becomes practical and accessible. White LED light reaches a quality sufficient for general illumination, and energy savings, 4 to 5 times compared to incandescent bulbs, make the transition inevitable. For traditional lamp manufacturers, this is an existential threat. LED bulbs don't last 1,000 hours. They last 25,000 hours, some 50,000. With such durability, people don't buy light bulbs every year, but once every 10 to 15 years. 2016, another change of ownership. Osram sells its North American lighting business, including the Sylvania brand, to Lightbulbs. This is a new company created specifically to manage Osram's consumer lighting business in America and Europe. And in 2017, the majority stake in Lightbulbs is acquired by a Chinese consortium, MLS Co. Ltd. And several partners. Sylvania, a brand born in Pennsylvania in 1901, grown on American military contracts, involved in NASA's space program, is now owned by Chinese investors. This is neither a tragedy nor a scandal. It is simply the reality of the global economy of the 21st century. Brands are assets. Assets are sold. But there is one aspect of this story that deserves special attention. Sylvania automotive bulbs, the very Silver Star line that the company began developing in the 1970s, today lives a separate life. After all the mergers and sales, Sylvania's automotive division ended up in the hands of Osram, which did not sell it, which preserved it as a separate business. Today, Osram Sylvania is a company that deals exclusively with automotive lighting, headlight bulbs, fog lights, LED systems for cars, headquarters in Massachusetts, manufacturing in several countries. Have you ever had anything at home with the name Sylvania? Maybe a light bulb in the kitchen, a car headlight you replaced yourself, or an old TV that stood in the corner of the room? Write in the comments.